All right, we are back with some more Road to Glory. And in this one, we do have a couple of changes to make right off the bat. So first, we're going to be sending our goaltender, Andre Maca, to the Toronto Maple Leafs, as they did offer a third-round pick for him. Now, I would love to keep him on board. However, he's 34. He's making a bit too much money for my liking, 6.3 for the next year. I know it's only for 1 year, but, we really do need to free up as much cap as possible for this season because we do need some depth, and I would like to have more room to work with in general. And he's a 2.5 star, and I did find a replacement for him out in free agency, actually, who I believe is around the same ability and is much cheaper. So, like I said, I want to try to save some cap space here, and unfortunately, Maca is expendable when it comes to that. So, Maca to the Maple Leafs for a third-round pick, complete trade. And who will be replacing him is someone out of free agency, Cody Forster. He was actually with the Ottawa Senators a few years ago, when he had a .913 save percentage in 61 games played, 39 wins. So he's fairly solid. I mean, the past couple of years have been a little rough for him, but still nothing less than a .903 save percentage while in the NHL. And the best part is that he only wants 1.7 for 3 years, whereas obviously Maca was making over 6 mil, I believe. So this is definitely saving quite a bit of money for us. And hopefully he's going to be able to perform the way that he did back when he was previously with the Ottawa Senators. And we actually do have one more trade coming up, but I actually already submitted the trade offer, so I'm going to wait for the team to respond, and hopefully they say yes. Okay, so this was the trade that I offered to the Pittsburgh Penguins. It was Manny Medina and a 7th-round pick for Konstantin Ronshin, and 50% of his salary retained. Ronshin is 33 years of age. He is quite good, but he's actually on their trade block, so I was hoping that we could get him for pretty cheap, but it doesn't appear that that is the case. And it appears they cannot add that much salary to their payroll. So I'm just gonna get rid of the retained salary and hope that does something for the trade. And there it is. The trade has been accepted. Manny Medina and a 7th to Pittsburgh for Konstantin Ronshin. We'll take a look at Medina before we send him over. So he's a good passer, a good puck handler, good offensive read even, but defensively, he's not really there. Mentally, he could be better as well. Physically, he's okay. Last season, he had 16 points in 39 games played for the Ottawa Senators. But if we take a look at Ronshin, he's 33 years of age, so sure, that he's a lot older. But we are a win-now team, so I'm looking to get the best players we can. And if we take a look at Ronshin's ratings, good passer, good puck handling, good defensively, good physically, and some decent mental ratings as well. Not to mention, if we take a look at his player history, nothing but mid to high 60s for the past several years. So that is what I really like about Ronshin, so we're going to complete this trade. So there you go. That is everything that I wanted to do to prepare this roster for the start of year number 1 with these Ottawa Senators. So in goal, we have Manning and Forster. On defense, we have Seidock, Schacht, Westerland, Hankin, Cerrone, Coates, and Soden. And at forward, we have Jansa, Rogers, Kizniakov, Werner, Wieland, Merrifield, Saganiak, Ronshin, Barron, Quinn, Van Buren, Emerson, Giroux, and Turbide. Okay, so we're about a month into the season now, and we're unfortunately 7-9-1, and let me tell you why that is a lot worse than it looks. So we're going to take a look at the schedule here for what's happened so far. First game of the season was a 2-0 win against Detroit, then you have a 6-3 loss against Boston, so we're 1-1. And then heading into October, starting against the Islanders, we have a win, a loss, a win, a win, a win, a win. Okay, so at that point, we're 6-2? Yeah, 6-2. Then you come over here to the game against Vegas. This starts an awful, and I mean awful stretch. 2-1 loss against Vegas, so we're 6-3. And a 4-3 win against San Jose, so I figure, okay, maybe that 2-1 loss isn't a big deal. But from Toronto through Buffalo, loss. Wow. That is a 7-game losing streak and 8 games lost out of the past 9. That's why that 7-9-1 looks a lot worse than it actually is, because we are on a massive slide, and I'm not sure entirely what went wrong there, but that was absolutely atrocious, and something needs to be done about it. Well, let's take a look at our stats. So our leading scorer right now is Randolph Rogers with 13 points. Then you have Wieland with 12. Then you have Saganiak with 11 in 15 games played. So it looks like he's been possibly injured at some point, but it looks like he's healthy now. Then you have Werner with 10 points in 16 games played. 9 points for Ronshin in 12 games played. So a good acquisition there at the start of the season, at least so far. And then a 68 grade. So yeah, Ronshin's been a great acquisition so far. Then Merrifield with 9 points in 17 games. And then in goal, you have Forster with 10 games played with a 917 save percentage. So not a bad signing right off the bat. Then you have Alan Manning, unfortunately, with a 900 save percentage in 8 games played. So not the worst he could be, but still, we need him to be a lot better than what he's doing. Especially with his 4.5 star potential, that he has to, as a 22-year-old, he maybe has a few years left to live up to that potential, and he's only at a 2.5 star ability. So I'm not saying he can't get there, but he does need to, start getting some good season stats in there. Otherwise, his growth might be hindered. So now let's take a look at the team stats, see if we could get a better idea of where we're at. So goals for per game, we're actually, unfortunately, 24th in the league with a 2.76. So we could definitely afford to be scoring a lot more. Now, the interesting thing is here, we're actually in the top 10 for goals against per game. So it's not even really defense or goaltending that's the issue here. It appears like it's scoring. Let's see, faceoffs. So we're second in the league for faceoffs with a 54.5. So we're retaining possession of the puck a lot. Or at least we're starting with the puck. Okay, so here's an area of concern. We are by far first in the league for giveaways with 125. The next team after that isn't even close. Toronto with 87. So, I mean, to be fair, we do have far more takeaways than any of the other teams. So we just, I guess, regardless of which side of the puck we're on, we just love those turnovers. Regardless of whether we're taking it away or giving it away. But, okay, here's an area where we can improve. The power play. 11.4 that is 30th actually in the league, only to Minnesota and the Islanders. And as we see, some of the top power plays in the league, they're up there with 33% in Chicago's case. So really need to improve that power play. Penalty kill even, I mean, I would like it to be better percentage-wise, but relative to the rest of the league, it's not that bad since we're 14th in the league. I mean, like I said, it could be better for sure. But it appears here, based off what we're seeing, that our offense is definitely the issue, as seen by the 30th place power play and goals for per game that is 24th in the league. So defense appears to be fine, but the offense does need some tinkering, which is odd considering how I thought this team would have been an offensively based team based off what we have on the back end with, Schacht, Hankin, and then Sidok as well, Westerland. We have like 4 capable offensive defensemen, but it appears they might be canceling each other out or here's something because, unfortunately, guys like Sidok and Westerland only have 3 points so far in 17 games played. That is not good. Justin Schacht, at 33 years of age, leads the back end in scoring with 8 points. Yeah, so that's definitely an issue. And then at forward, I mean, we could be getting some more depth scoring here for sure. Maybe, guys like Wieland and Rogers step up. Because I know Tobias Wieland, he was that sniper, right, who scored 50. Yeah, he had 54 goals that one year. Even that last year, even that down year for him where he only had 49 points, he still had 27 goals, and that's pretty respectable. So we definitely need the top 6 here, top 6 forwards to step up. But I'm really looking at the back end here, honestly. I mean, like I said, defense has been fine. We're 9th for goals against per game, but I would really prefer to get these guys on the back end going point-wise because I know they have the potential to do it. Roger Hankin, I mean, look at that offensive read, 18. Puck handling and passing aren't bad. Pretty good positionally. And then not to mention you have Luke Sidok, who he appears to be very good offensively, offensive read of 19. Shooting accuracy for a defenseman is at 15. Passing and puck handling at 18, getting open 15, positioning's at 15, so he's not bad there either. There's no reason why Luke Sidok, of all people, should be having this kind of abysmal performance when he had 59 points last year, and right now he's on pace for maybe 15. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, but the thing is, for all the guys that are doing well defensively, I don't want to break up the defensive core, but I also know that our current track cannot continue because this has been a very bad run, to say the least. Like the game against Toronto, 3-1, like 1 goal for, 1 goal for, 2 goals for, 3 goals for, 1 goal for, 2 goals for, 2 goals for, 1 goal for against Vegas. Okay, so as a result of me clicking the create lines from lineups button, the coach has created some new lineups. Ronshin is on the first line now. Saganiak's on the second line. I believe he was in the bottom 6 before. So I guess we'll just see how that works because I don't exactly want to make any trades just yet. Like, it's only been 17 games. But at the same time, we have been on such a slide that it kind of feels like a need to. I mean, one thing is for certain. So far, at least, has been a very streaky team. I mean, we started out hot and then for whatever reason lose 8 of our last 9. So as a result of that starting hot, I would like to believe that the talent is there on this team, but I don't know. I guess that the pressure for this team is on. It really is, because like I said in the first episode with these guys, like, a lot of them are past their prime, and the ones that aren't past their prime are currently in the prime, like in the middle of their prime or coming towards the tail end of it. Like, there's almost no young pieces on this roster for the future, besides, Manning, who hasn't really shown himself to be a great simulator just yet. So it's this is a tricky situation for sure. You know who hasn't really been living up to my expectations so far is Tim Emerson. He's 33 years of age, and he's got a $4.1 million contract for the next 2 years, and not really putting up the numbers as of right now, only 3 points in 13 games played. So he's a guy I'm going to keep an eye on, and I think if he doesn't really do well this upcoming month, then I think I might flip him for someone else, or at least someone cheaper, just so we have more room to work with the cap. And then maybe as a result of acquiring that cap space, acquire someone with a lot more skill. I think that might be what I do with Emerson if he doesn't turn it on, because he has not been... I mean, he's probably contributing to our face-off success, so I'll give him that, but otherwise he's been very average. And on this team, at least right now, there's just not a whole lot of room for passengers. So, like I said, if he doesn't pick it up, then he might be on his way out in exchange for some cap space. So I think with that all being said, I'm going to simulate ahead. I don't know about the whole month, but at least a couple of weeks. I want to see if we could get out of this horrible rut that we're in. I mean, granted, it is a 7-game losing streak, but the coach did change up the lines, so I'm hopeful that maybe we could get something going again. And you know what? We got the perfect team to start it out on. We're facing the New York Islanders, who are 5-10. They've given up 58 goals on the season so far in 15 games played. This is a must-win. All right, good. We won against the Islanders 4-2. If we lost that game, I was not going to be happy. So our losing streak has broken. Maybe now we can go on a bit more of a winning streak. So I think we'll go up after the game against Edmonton, and we'll see what happens after that. We'll see if we need to make any changes or not. I really hope not, because this looks like a really skilled team on paper, but obviously with that horrible losing streak, that definitely put us into a hole early, and it's one that we may end up regretting at the end of the season. Okay, so it appears that, so far at least, my patience with this roster has paid off. During that stretch, going back to the Islanders, we went 5-2. 4-2 win against the Islanders, a 4-1 loss against Carolina, that was a bit ugly. 2-1 loss against Winnipeg. I mean, it was a close game, but, we do kind of need to get as many points as we can right now to make up for that ugly losing streak before. But luckily, this week right here is what really impressed me, especially with the goals for. 6-3 win against New Jersey, 4-0 win against Boston, 7-1 win against Carolina, and a 2-0 shutout victory over Edmonton. So I'm glad that I stayed patient, because this team clearly has the talent to do it. This team clearly has the talent to win. It's just a matter of doing it consistently and not dropping the ball. And luckily, it seems our guy, Alan Manning, who last time we checked had a 900 save percentage in 8 games played, now in 15 games played has a 923. So that is very good to see out of the young man. Hopefully he can keep going and pushing that potential. Unfortunately, it looks like he dropped down to a 4-star potential, but as long as he can keep performing the way he has recently, that potential should end up going back up, along with his ability, obviously. And Cody Forster, at least so far, has not gotten any games this month, and I'm okay with that because Alan Manning has been phenomenal. So let's take one more look at the stats before we continue on with the simulation. Randolph Rogers with 20 points, then Wieland with 19, 17 for Saganiuk, 16 for Werner, 14 for Merrifield, Ronshin, and Jansa, 13 for Giroux and Kuzniakov, 10 for Schacht. So not getting a whole lot of scoring from the back end still, unfortunately. But we are getting a lot of depth scoring from up front, as well as some stellar play from our goaltender, Alan Manning. Goals for per game is up there now at a 3. So still not as high as some of these other teams, but it's getting better. And the power play, unfortunately, is still 30th, but the percentage has gotten better. It was previously at 11.4, now it's at a 14%. So as long as it's getting better, as long as we're seeing progress, I guess that's all I really care about. But it's just that unfortunate 7-game losing streak that we had that set us so far back in the stats column that it makes it look a lot worse than it actually is. As of right now, I like the way this team is simulating, so we're going to go the rest of the month. I know we just had a pretty good stretch, but this team is still far from out of the woods. So we're going to go the rest of the month and see what happens. All right, so we're on December 1st now. We are 17-12-1. Once again, very glad that I stayed patient with this roster. In that stretch of the past 6 games, we only lost once, so I'll take it. That was a really good month. Let's take a brief look at the stats. In goal, Manning in 21 games played with a .929 save percentage. That is what I like to see. Forster has not played any games since we last checked, so it's been a Manning show as of late. On defense, it looks like Shacht still putting up the points. 16 points in 30 games played. Westerland with 13, Hankin with 10, Sidock with 9. Wish Sidock would be doing a lot better, especially given his ability. Like, he's got a lot of offensive ability. It's just for whatever reason not showing itself right now to the extent that it did last season. Forward-wise, you have Rogers with 26 points, Wieland with 23, 22 for Ronshin, 21 for Werner and Jansa, 20 for Zaganiuk. Merrifield with 18, 17 for Kizniakov, 14 for Giroux, 7 for Quinn, 6 for Barron, 5 for Van Buren, 4 for Turbide, and Emerson with 3 in 24 games played. He did not get a single point in that month. I think it is safe to say that he is on his way out, because that is that is bad. That is really, really bad. For you to be making that much money, like over $4 million, and be doing that little offensively as a forward, yeah, he's on his way out. I'm not dealing with any passengers this year. What about his defensive grade? His defensive grade isn't even all that great either, 58. Yeah, he's definitely on the way out there. I would rather just have the extra cap space, to be honest. Like, he's done absolutely nothing. I gotta say, he fell off hard. Last season with Ottawa, I mean, obviously we weren't here, but he had 32 points last season in 72 games. Right now, he's on pace for 10 at most. His last point was October 17th. It is now December 1st. Yeah, he's getting traded. I'm not sure to where or for what. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to get a draft pick back for him without giving up another draft pick in return. But I do know that we need to clear up that cap space, because obviously that'll make room for a player who is hopefully more worth his salary. He has been by far, I would say, the worst player on our team. I mean, forgetting grades for a second, like, obviously Quinn has the worst grade overall, but relative to expectations, Tim Emerson has been awful. So I think with that, we'll end things off here, and in the next one, we'll trade Mr. Emerson and hopefully continue with what we've been doing, and that's winning more often than not, because right now we're in a pretty good position. We just have to make sure that we're consistent about it. And if we can do that, and if Mr. Alan Manning continues playing like one of the best goalies in the world right now, then it definitely looks like we will be in the playoffs. Like I said, it's just a matter of being consistent about it. So remember to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.